Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Katie, Mission to Wonderland here on both YouTube and Instagram. So wanted to come in and kind of update everybody on where I am in the VSG journey and kind of give you some like milestone updates along the way. So I am almost a month post-op. I had my surgery on August 11th. Today is September the 4th. In terms of where I am eating stages, I am in what my program calls stage 3, or technically stage 2B. So basically, just to kind of give you an overview as to how it works, the liquid diet is kind of considered the stage 2. Stage 1 technically is just clear liquids, which I was only on for a day leading up to surgery. So that was stage 1. Stage 2 is liquids that includes, your protein shakes is your primary source of protein. And then for snacks, I was able to have things like sugar-free Jello. I could have the Oikos 000 Greek yogurt, sugar-free puddings, things like that, broth. But it was all about having liquids. And I was on that for 2 weeks, both before the surgery for my liver shrink diet and then also post-surgery. At the end of those 2 weeks, a couple days later, I was cleared for stage 2B, which is basically adding some, what a lot of people call the soft food stage. So I could have everything from stage 2 in terms of the liquids. And then I also added to that, I added eggs, moist rotisserie chicken. I added string cheese. I also added, string cheese, eggs. Oh, a light cottage cheese. Ricotta cheese was put on that, and maybe a couple of other items, but it's a relatively small list. But thankfully for me, I really like all of those items. So I have pretty much lived solely off of cottage cheese, eggs, and rotisserie chicken for the last couple of weeks. I go back into the doctor on the 10th for kind of my 1 month post-op. To kind of give you an idea for weight loss. And again, I try to stress this, everybody's body is different, so please don't put yourself in a comparison against other people. To be completely honest, if as of today everyone ate the same amount of everything every single day, we would all still have different bodies, so please keep that in mind. So I lost in my first month, so I consider August month 1. Again, I had surgery on the 11th. I had the pre-op diet before that. I lost 28.5 pounds in the month of August. Now, obviously, I know that that will not continue. It'd be awesome if it did, but I'm certain not healthy. So, 28.5 pounds. So, I would say about half of it was pre-surgery and half of it was post. I have definitely seen a slowdown since then. Actually, this week has been a little bit of a struggle for me. I did have my cycle for about 8 days over the last 10, so I'm definitely attributing some of it to that, but I have seen, I don't want to call it a complete stall. The scale is moving, but it went up for maybe about a pound and then kind of is slowly coming back down. Obviously, in your first month post-op, I'm kind of still expecting these large numbers, but I'm also trying not to get hung up on the fact that maybe it fluctuates throughout the week. So I'm going to get to the point that I'm not going to weigh every day. It's not a good practice to be in. I don't think it's good for anybody, but I've been doing it nonetheless just because I'm curious and working really hard. So I do official weigh-ins every Wednesday morning when I wake up. I think I'm going to go back to that and try not to look at the scale until then. We'll see. I might make that a goal for later this month or maybe for October, because I don't want to get hung up on how did I lose 0.2 pounds whenever I only ate this much. So I am trusting the process. I'm trying not to get discouraged. So, I'm like, you lost 28 pounds last month. What do you want your body to do? It's probably like, listen, lady, we're changing a lot. This is crazy. So just remaining optimistic about it. I was approved at the end of my appointment last week with the surgeon to get back to workouts, and I've only done one high intensity since then. I went to a workout on Sunday and felt really good. To be honest, I think I psyched myself out, and I also hate doing ab work, so the fact that I took it easy, I think, was 100% in my head, and because I hate ab work, but It's a kind of a lighter weightlifting class, but lots of cardio movement. It's called Get Ripped, and I love it. And I was fine throughout the whole class. So normally, whenever I'm, really committed to workouts, I will actually do doubles. So we do both Get Ripped and Tae Bo, well, 2 days a week, and then there's another day that we have a different workout combined. But I'd like to get back to doing the double. So I just did Get Ripped on Sunday to kind of feel it out and see where I am, and I intend to this coming Sunday do both. So super excited to get back to working out and going to the gym when I can. I'm very lucky that our instructors also live stream, so if we need to do it at home, we can. But I think everyone would agree that you work out so much harder when you're in the room with the people. So I'm anxious to get back into that routine. I've even actually been able to change my work days in the office to mirror what I do at the gym. So I'm hoping that's super helpful for me as well, that I can have no excuses. Working from home is kind of awkward because I'm about 20 minutes from the gym, but when I'm in my office, I'm about 3 minutes from the gym. So I'm going to kind of adjust my in-office days to match my gym schedule. So all about balance, making adjustments to fit your life. So I was very thankful that I've been able to do that. I have been very diligent when I'm in the office to pack my lunch. I was not in the office for about a month with everything with surgery and making sure I was quarantining because I did have to do COVID tests. I just wanted to make sure I was in good shape. So I did work from home for basically the entire month of August, and then I came back to the office this week. So we've been doing week on, week off. We're actually going to change to just going in 4 days over a 2-week span. So I'm going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays, which I think will be a good mix of home and in office. It's just nice to see people, to be honest. So, all right. So I'm going to give a couple of tidbits for things that have been hugely helpful to me in the last couple of weeks. I walk almost every day. If it is not raining, I make it a point to go out and walk a little over a mile. You don't have to walk fast, you don't have to walk far, but keep moving because we lose weight with calorie deficits. So obviously, even at rest, our bodies burn a lot of calories throughout the day, but the more you can burn, the more weight you're going to lose. So you would be surprised when I walk. Basically, I think our loop is about 1.3 miles. I burn right at or just over 200 calories almost every time. So you're basically burning off a meal that you're, consuming throughout the day. So even if you don't feel comfortable, if you were like, there's no way I could do a high intensity workout right now, that's okay. Just keep walking. And that's what I did for month one. I didn't stop walking, and I'm still walking. So on days that I'm not going to the gym, I'm out and I do my walk. So that's really important to me, and it's, I think, been a huge factor as to how successful I've been so far. So be sure to walk. One thing I've struggled with, and I'll be very honest about this, is getting enough to drink. And pre-surgery, I would have said I didn't think I had a problem, but I'm not an overly thirsty human, just in general. So I drink more when I eat, or historically, I drank more whenever I ate meals. And now that I can't do that, I feel like I'm lacking in fluids. So I'm really focused on making sure that I'm getting enough in. It's still a learning curve for me to not be able to take big drinks. So I find myself constantly putting a lot in my mouth and then having to slowly swallow it. It's all about just changing these behaviors. I've had these for almost 32 years. So we're going to have to figure out what changes we need to make and make them long term. So I'm still learning, but I do also think it might be part of the reason why I've struggled a little bit in the last week or so, because I've noticed being in the office, being on the phone all the time, I'm seeing where I'm not having as much time to grab drinks. So I've seen some people say that they set an alarm. I may actually do that too, until I get back into a routine that I feel comfortable with the amount of fluids that I'm getting in. So that's been a struggle. Foods that I eat pretty much constantly are eggs and cottage cheese. They do suggest light cottage cheese, and I think the best light cottage cheese on the planet is from Aldi. It's so good, and I've already been through several tubs in the last 2 weeks. So if you are a cottage cheese fan and you have an Aldi near you, I would suggest it. Even if you don't know if you are, I would suggest giving it a try. Some people like to mix it with stuff. I actually prefer mine plain, but there are all sorts of options. So find what works for you. If you feel hungry, obviously you should question it, listen to your body. But If you feel hungry, don't deprive yourself. Find something that you can have. And, you know, a sugar-free Jell-O is 10 calories, but it will fill your stomach. So don't fret over that. If you feel hungry, again, listen to your body. Maybe you drink something, and if you still feel hungry, then you should eat something. You know, I'm not a doctor and I'm not a specialist on this, but depriving yourself or making yourself feel that you cannot have something will make you want it even more. That's always going to be a mental thing. It's not just with food. If there's something you want it. So I'm just making it a point now to really verify that it is something that I want, and it's not just a moment in time thing. But if it's something you want or need and it's all you can think about, then either find a way to make a better choice or maybe just have a little bit. So, you know, we shouldn't be considering this as a punishment. We did this because we want to change our lives. So, yeah, so that's my almost 1 month post-op update. I am, like I said, down 28 pounds, 28 and a half pounds since the start of the month of August. I will do probably an update here soon too, to kind of let everyone know where I saw weight loss first. And what I mean by that is I did measurements as well, and I'm so thankful that I did. And that's another piece of advice. If you're considering having this surgery, take pictures and take measurements. Because even when, like, for the last week or so, I haven't felt like I've taken a bunch of weight off, I've lost 18 and a half inches across my body since the end of July. That's crazy. Like, I lost a half an inch in my neck. I lost, I think, 3 inches in my waist, a little over 3 inches in my hips. My thighs went down almost an inch. Like, those are major changes, and you can see them in photos, and you can't argue with measurements. So give yourself every tool and have a support group of people who lift you up. And I will tell you, Instagram has been such a tremendous tool for me, because this community of people, when it comes to any sort of bariatric surgery, are so unbelievably supportive and are in your, you know, your fan club from the moment you start. And these, I'll say primarily women, although there are men in the community too who are wonderful. But I have what I feel is an army of women behind me who are constantly reminding me of my self-worth. And it's funny because, you know, self-worth, but they've been through this too, and it's like they know the struggles, and they want you to constantly remember, like, hey, you can do this. Like, there's nothing magic or special about me. We can all do this. So find yourself a tribe of people and love them hard. I mean, I'm so grateful for my friends who have been wonderful through this. You know, the friends who are always like, every time they see a transformation picture, they're like, oh my God, yes, girl, you're killing it. You look great. And you need that. And I'm not saying I need it every day, but it is certainly nice on the days when it's hard to have someone say, I can't believe you don't see the changes, because they're crazy to me. So make sure you're giving yourself that that backup support. And I know that some people have been very hesitant to tell others about the surgery, and that's entirely up to you. There is no right or wrong way to divulge this information, and you don't have to. So that's up to you. But whether you decide to tell people who are close to you to be your support group, or strangers via, you know, a social channel, you do you. But make sure you have people that are standing behind you to help build you up, even whenever you don't quite feel it. So I was very open about my surgery. Most people know about it. I posted about it. Obviously, I have my weight loss Instagram, but I did not post about it on my personal one, but I did post about it on my Facebook page, because I don't want it to be, first off, that anyone thinks I'm sick when they see that I'm losing weight. And again, I'm not ashamed of the choice I made. I did not make this choice lightly. I did a lot of research, and I made the decision with every bit of education and comfort that I felt that I needed. So hopefully you were able to do the same. If you're considering the surgery and have questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If I don't know the answer, I will help point you in the direction of someone that does. But again, find what works for you. I chose the gastric sleeve surgery. I would say my primary reason for choosing it over bypass was that I felt that it was less invasive, and that I personally have known a lot of people who have struggled with the gastric bypass. Now, having said that, many of them had it years and years ago, and obviously modern medicine changes in leaps and bounds every year. But from my experience, I'd not heard a lot of great things, and that freaked me out. And the same way with the way that your body absorbs things. I know you have to take a lot of vitamins and things like that moving forward, and I just, if I could limit the massive changes to my body, I wanted to try to do that. So that was part of my reason. The doctor actually suggested gastric for me anyway. I went in knowing what I wanted, but wanted to see what they would say without knowing my thoughts. So that was the suggestion for me. The doctor basically told me, hey, if you want to consider the bypass, the biggest difference for you is you might lose a little bit more weight. He said, but you don't, I'm not coming into this as a 500 or 600 pound person. So it was different in terms of what my weight loss goals are. So I've actually not talked about that before. So I am 5'9". I started this journey, I'll say my highest weight was about, well, my highest weight this year before having surgery, at the end of 2019, I was at 319. And I hold my weight well. I guess most people don't think I ever weighed that much, but I certainly did. Highest, I would actually say I was probably around 325, but 319 is where I started. I weighed in yesterday at 268. So I'm already down over 50 pounds from that highest point. But again, that's not just from the surgery. I was working very hard from the beginning of the year to get myself to a place that I was ready for the huge changes that were coming. So I had been working out regularly. I had been tracking all my food. I won't say I always ate perfectly, but I was aware. So even after a day or two of eating like garbage, I would be right back to trying to be better. I wasn't overly restrictive, but I did start kind of bringing some practices in. Like I would every morning have a protein shake with my coffee because I wanted to make sure that when the time came that I had to do protein shakes as a primary source of protein, that it wasn't like trying to find one I liked or being disgusted by them. It was nice because I knew what I wanted. So I did put that into practice. I did start trying not to eat late. My boyfriend kind of went through some, I'll say, just kind of changes with behavior in terms of food and how it sits in his stomach, and he really kind of started practicing that last year. So I've been trying to implement it. I'm not always as great as he is, like trying not to go to bed on food. So giving yourself 2 to 3 hours before bed without anything in your stomach other than fluids. So I had tried to implement that, I'll say 75% of the time. And I've never been a big drinker, so that's not been a problem. But just, making those slight changes leading up, I will tell you it makes a huge difference. My surgery was so easy. I can't even say got sick, but I got very nauseous and was to that point the day of surgery in the afternoon. But again, I think that was just honestly from the anesthesia. But I've not had nausea. I've not gotten sick. I've not had, any sort of like a dumping syndrome or anything like that. Obviously, I haven't eaten a tremendous amount, but my recovery has been so smooth. And I think a lot of that comes back to me having put the time in ahead. So if you're considering the surgery and your doctor tells you you have to go through a 6-month program and you're thinking to yourself, I don't want to wait that long, this journey is more mental than physical by far. So that 6 months of time gives you time to get your mind right, to set your expectations for yourself, to already start making changes to lead that whenever you get to the time of surgery, you're in a better place both mentally and physically. It makes all the difference. And I think a lot of bariatric patients would tell you, I had no idea how much of a mental challenge this was going to be. I mean, it's funny. I've heard people that say they feel silly, but during the pre-op, their significant other is eating pizza and they go to their room and cry. That is such a powerful statement and something that as an individual makes you feel so silly, right? Am I honestly crying over pizza? But at the same time, like, it has that much of a mental weight on you. We have let food at this point be such a critical component of our lives that, yeah, it's that upsetting. It's that important. Like, I feel that I need it. We have to get our mindsets right if we expect this tool to be an asset to our journey. So the surgery is not going to not going to save you, to be honest. You have to make the decision of everything that goes into your mouth. So if you ever question or you think, I don't want to tell anybody because they think I took the easy way out, sweetheart, this is not easy. Your body changed real quick and you have to be able to make immediate changes to help. And you still have to choose everything that comes into your mouth, how quickly you eat it, how much you eat. You know, we're now weighing food and making sure that our portions are exact and we don't want to stretch our stomach. Like, these are things that old you never worried about. So the next time someone tells you that it's the easy way out, I would have some choice words for them, but honestly, just walk away. Like, you don't need that kind of negativity in your life. I certainly don't. And there's been nothing about this journey that's been easy. So to those people, they can suck it because they don't know. But all right, so we're 20 minutes in. I don't want you to have to sit here and listen to me ramble on any longer, but find the tools that work for you. Shannon Nicole posted here not too long ago on her Instagram about these small containers that she uses for meal prep, and I ordered them on Amazon. Swear by them, because the nice part is whenever you're measuring amounts, it's a half cup on either side. So we should be eating basically a cup of food for a meal. So it's just nice to not really have to worry about it. So like for cottage cheese, I know if it fits in there, I have a half a cup. I do always weigh out my proteins, and I would suggest that you do that too. Let me just tell you, we have a tendency to think in our head as to how much something is, and it's not even close. So just make sure you get yourself a food scale. It's easy. It's not overly time consuming. At Costco, you can buy prepackaged pulled moist rotisserie chicken. It's about 2 pounds of it, so it'll last you quite a while. It does stay in the refrigerator for a week. I think it says that it's fine for a week. So I would 100% suggest it, because good stuff and easy, and you don't have to pick it apart or tempt yourself with eating the skin, because the skin is the best part. So set yourself up for success. If you have any questions, please drop them below. I think I'm going to do a Q&A for my next one. So I'll actually post on my Instagram page. And again, it's Mission to Wonderland, exactly like my handle is here on YouTube. So if you have questions that you'd like for me to answer, you can feel free to direct message me. You can put them in the comments here underneath the video. Or if you have some ideas for a future video, always happy to record what would be helpful to all of you. So thanks for following. Hope everyone has a great day. It is Friday, so have a great weekend, a great long weekend, since we have a holiday on Monday, and I'll be in touch soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.